Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca and it is time to start my heaven and earth design. I think I'm ready. So I'm going to go for a 4x4 square. I think I used to do a 4x6 when I did my other one, but this is first time of me trying. So I'm going to go with a 4x4. While I try Markup and see how I like it. I have visions just from the messing last week. I've not done any messing since, but I will say I do have visions of going back to Patternkeeper. We shall see. It has warned me today that I have 7 days left of my trial. Before I have to start paying. As far as I'm aware, I have to pay, potentially, I have to pay per month, I think, for this one, which I'm not so keen on. I'm just trying to find where my little stand is. I do have a case for my book, but I have a stand that I used for my other tablet, and it's here hiding with my other tablet, so bear with me while I dig it out. At least I've figured out where my other tablet is if I need to go and put that on charge. But I have this little tablet stand that actually works quite well, so you guys can still see what's going on, but I can see a little bit easier what's going on too. So let's zoom in a bit. I'm very limited as to how much I can zoom and still let you guys see all that I'm doing. So it'll probably take me a few weeks to get used to this. But I'm starting with the Evermoment canvas. Now, I don't know if other people do this, maybe from left over to right so that their numbers are still visible, though I do still have the numbers on this side visible. But my first row all the way up is actually this white. So I thought I'd do all the white first because that's the one I have the most of. I am going to single place all of this, I think. I don't have visions of doing a lot of multi-placing on this one. Though if I do, it would more than likely be in the off-camera stages so that I can get through some sections potentially. So if I now want to mark up that whole row, all it's done is gone a little bit paler. Okay, that just gives me... See, when I choose that I only want to see unmarked, doesn't show me the symbols, which is the tricky part. This is the part that's going to take a little bit of getting used to. So for this next one, I don't do the first one, and then I'm going all the way up. So yeah, how is everybody? Is anybody else starting a new big project? Maybe one like me, where you're starting with white on white and therefore nobody can see what on earth it is you're doing. I've just looked up in the camera and realised that because I'm doing white on white, this is not very clear. It might take me a while for things to get a little bit clearer, a little bit easier on how I'm doing things. I'm completely out of practice with Heaven and Earth design after the break from my last one, but I'm very excited to do another one though. I am excited to do one, and these numbers aren't proving as much as a problem as I potentially thought. Okay, so that's my next row, and then I'm going up another one, and then I'm going all the way to the top again. I'll probably do each square or each section different depending on what jumps out at me at the time, but at the moment this is what's jumping out at me, is doing the big long rows at the moment where required. It's looking nice, looking good so far. We shall see. I have put a little piece of dryer sheet in with each tub of diamonds, so we'll see how good that gets over time. But that's that next row, and then I want the next one exactly the same. I'm starting from the bottom because the bottom's different, and then I don't have to think about it after that. Don't have to think until I get to the other end, and then it's thinking time again. So I have lots and lots of comments, etc. left on previous big project videos. So we'll start with a couple that are on my breakdown of walking in the rain. But Ali Cat said she was on a car ride with her daughter when she was about 5 years old. And we were playing rock, scissors, paper. Oh, that was said different. We say paper, rock, scissors. No, rock, paper, scissors. That's what's confused me. It's like, what? Which order is it? No, rock, paper, scissors, we say. Oh, I don't like the fact if you accidentally touch on another one, it actually undoes it. Okay, that took me a minute. She says, after a few minutes of playing, she says, my daughter, she said, who's also a Rebecca, put up both hands about 6 inches apart and yelled out, hotel. She said, kids are so funny. Does that mean she won? They are. It's amazing stuff that kids can come up with. And quite a lot of the time, it makes sense. It does actually make sense what they say. Not all the time. Maybe hotel didn't. But yeah, sometimes it really does make sense how they've come to the conclusion that they have. Always makes me laugh. Cheryl, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, her heart broke for me a little bit when I inadvertently poured the wrong colour diamonds in a bag. She said she feels my pain as she had a similar experience a few weeks ago. Hang on, let me just see. This is where I have a problem, is when I try to, that one doesn't seem to want to mark. Okay, well, we'll just go by ignoring that one then. We're going to here and we're still going all the way up. Sorry, yeah, so she said she had a similar experience a few weeks ago. She was de-kitting a finished project and kitting up a custom. Using her own, which required her to use her own diamonds. Thinking she was saving time by checking diamonds for from the finished diamond painting and pulling needed diamonds for the custom, she said she was quite proud of herself being so efficient. She says then it hit her. She said her finished project was in rounds. Oh, and her custom was in square. She said, thankfully, it was only about 5 colours that got mixed. Oh, I would so only be sorting those out when actually doing the painting. And just tipping a small amount into my tray, pulling out the squares I needed, and then removing the rounds. Because that is just so annoying. Okay, I've got a full strip. Full strip of whites. She says, thankfully, it was just 5 colours. She said she heard my voice my voice in her head saying, take care of the issue right away before walking away. She says she tried, she says, but she was so furious with herself that she just decided to leave it partway through. She says she now has a few empty extra bottles while on hand, while she's diamond painting her customs. As she pours out her diamonds into the tray, she picks out any round diamonds that she comes across. Oh well, she says, what can you do? She says, sorry for the long post. To be fair, that is probably what I would have done in that instance. When I always say fix the mistake first before walking away, is more if you've placed down the wrong diamonds. Now, sometimes you may need a 5-10 minute go and kick yourself type moment or 3, just due to the frustration of potentially doing it wrong. But after that, I use that number 5 then to get there. Did anybody notice? Yeah, after that initial frustration, then yeah, if it's diamonds on your canvas, then I would go and pick them off. Replacing them can happen later, but picking them off I would do first up. But with what you've done, doing it as you go along is the most time-saving way to do it. It would just be far too frustrating otherwise. Okay, had to think about that one because I've got a number on that top one, so that's one I did have to think about a little bit. But the next one, I'm actually going to go from the top, and it goes, well, the top, and then it goes one up from the bottom, and then I can just fill in the middle. Do it that way, sort of put my little guides of where I need to go, and then follow it all the way up. But yeah, I think you're wasting time if you sit there trying to pull out all the rounds, when it's quite a practical thing to do while you're doing the diamond painting. Okay, so on this one, I've got the top corner there, then I miss one, and then I go all the way to the same place. And now I'm just going to fill up just to that first line there and leave that gap. And say I'll probably do this a few different ways depending on what I'm working on and what the colours are. But for this one, that works for me. Okay, now, what's that? Don't know what that is. That's the key. So if I go back to markup, if I then come off, or go to, what's that symbol then? Markup. Okay, so let me hit that symbol. And if I now go back to search for that symbol, it's highlighted all the rest again. I can't remember if Pattern Keeper did it that way or not. I do need to move it though, because those symbols are getting in the way of these symbols. Okay. See how we go. I think what's going to stop me from using this more so than the app itself, because I'm willing to give anything a decent try, and I would be willing to give this app a really good run for its money and actually do the whole painting using this app, if it wasn't for the fact that it would cost every month. I'm not sure how much it is every month, but I don't really want to pay for something when I have something that is perfectly working and capable of doing this, just using my other tablet. That's what's turning me off. using this at the moment. I will check out the price to see whether it is worth me paying for it for a couple of months to give it a bit more of a go. But I've already paid for Pattern Keeper, and Pattern Keeper, while it's only available on Android, is a one-off price, and this one isn't. If this was a one-off price, I would like a $7.99, then I would probably do, okay, it's good enough to give it a go, and pay the one-off price and let it run throughout the whole of this painting and really give it a good go. But knowing how long, see, look, that's unticked, that one. Knowing how long this could take me to complete, I feel like I could end up spending a heck of a lot of money on an app when I have another one that just needs my tablet charging. Just needs charging. That's all it needs. Okay, another row of 8. It also doesn't seem to mark off things quite as nicely. So I don't know if you remember, with Pattern Keeper, they were all highlighted like this, but they did mark up differently when I marked each symbol as being done. And then I could hit like a save button at the bottom, and it would get rid of all the actual symbol. So it was really clear to see. See, look, this one, I'm unticking ones that I've actually done. Whereas I could tick like a save button. Maybe let's try saving. No, see, the symbols are still there. Does that, and it still allows me to untick them, and that's what I don't want to happen. So yeah, it may be that I don't want to pay for this app. Call me a skinflint. I am happy to pay the money where I, for quality, or for things that are useful. But that doesn't mean I want to just pay money for the sake of it, if that makes sense. I think that's where the fact that my mum's from Yorkshire and my dad's from Lancashire play a little part in the way up on what's worth the money and what's not. This Ever Moment canvas, though, isn't too bad. There is the odd occasion that it's giving me pause, like just then as I was doing that bottom row. It did just give me pause because I can see the numbers. But then once I did a little check in my head and go, no, that's right, that's the next block, my brain went, okay, that's all right. And then I actually use the numbers to help me. So I think we're going to stick with this Ever Moment canvas and just get it all completed on here, because we can. If I stop hitting the wrong things. Then we want a 4, 2, 3, 4. This is where counted cross stitch comes in. Missed 2 and then 1. Got that one. And then I'm going to do these 2 lots of 3. Each time I look at the chart, it's different parts that click in my head as going together. So then it was those 2 parts of 3, and then I'm going to continue this line down 2. So that's 1, 2. No, try and actually mark them all. And then I want to join from 1 on the end, and I want to go 1 past this row. 4, 5, 6. And double check as I cross off. I'm double checking it is 6. And then 1 in, and then 1, 2, 3. So I'll have in my head 1, 3, which is my 1 in, and then do a row of 3. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go down to the bottom and do a 2, 1 in, and then a 2, and then 2 3s. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. And that's all that. So if I hit save, that should have saved that. So now I want to search for a symbol. Let's go for the dark colour. I don't get what this symbol detection seems to be about how good it is at picking up a symbol as being a symbol that you need, which it doesn't seem to have a huge problem. Every now and then it will muck up on one, but it's not having a huge problem. But what's hard now is seeing what I've done and what I've not done. Okay, so that one goes there, which is that one. And then I want 2 down here. This is where I'm having to concentrate a bit more because of not being able to see very easily what symbols have actually been done. They're greyed out, but they're not blanked out. So 4, and then 3, and then 2 at the beginning of a row. Okay, your mark, there we go. Okay, then we have 3 in the bottom corner. Sorry, I'm having to concentrate a bit more on this one. Then it goes over, and we have 3 again. Then it goes over, and we have 3 again. Now that's saying we're not supposed to be meeting. That's me actually doing these whites wrong because of the numbers. I didn't start on the numbers when I should have done. So that means these should be over here. That 3 and that 3 should be over. I should have cross-checked where I finished this row of 3. Okay, so I've corrected my whites. So we've got 3, 3, another row of 3 with 1 gap in the middle, and then 2 with a gap of 2 in the middle. Okay, hit save. Okay, so it has gone round those in a darker black. It's still kept the symbol, but it has gone over it in black. So maybe it does do it in the colour, but of course, because I've started with white, it's not shown up very well. So maybe I need to do my colours in a kind of different order to make it show up better, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let's go for this raindrop, which is 3865, so this isn't going to show up much either. I added my piece of dryer sheet after kitting up, so I'm trying to make sure I took it down a little bit more. Anyway, Almost Ali, she says she finished Cookies and Classics in 33 days. Awesome. Right, hang on. Mark up those 2. And then these 2 took up as well. Those 2, have they marked? No, they have now. This is where I'm second guessing myself as I'm putting some of these down, because it's harder to see. Now, I do remember there being a part of Pattern Keeper that could make this black and white one hard to see, but I don't remember it being this hard. Now, that could just be me, you know, sweetening the memory a little bit since I last did it, but I'm not completely sure. 2 up, so I want that one there. I do know it got easier as I ended up in sections with more dark colours, so maybe Pattern Keeper does have this little glitch as well. Okay, so it is 1 under. 1, 2, there is supposed to be a space, and then the third one in an L. I mean, I hit save, but that's not actually blanking anything out for me. Okay, do the one up the top, and then 1, 2, 3, and then a 4th. It's not highlighting. Then this one's tucked in there. This one is tucked in there. I feel like I am well and truly having to concentrate on this one. This one's here. This one's here. Brain's having to tell me where the intersections are. Then I need one up there. Miss one. And then 1, 2, 3. Miss 1, 1. Miss 1, 1. That's those 2. And then I need to do that one and that one. Okay, if I come off that symbol, I think I've got them all. But again, it's an off-white colour, so it's not showing up the best. So maybe I should do it dark colours followed by light colours. Anyway, we're here now. Let's go for, no. Okay, now it's searching for 2. If I hit on that one, what is this doing? I want it to select G's and it's not selecting G's. Symbol markup, G, and it's picked up all of my diamonds. Do I need to put that higher? Do I need to put it lower? Okay, if I put it higher and then tell it I want the G again. No. Put it lower. Tell it I want the G again. No. It's not. It's not selecting my G without selecting all these teardrops. I don't want the teardrops. So if I put symbol up to high, come off it, go on it again, pick a G. Okay, I think it's just got all the G's. That was hard work. That was far too much hard work. Right, G. So we've got one down there, one there, one there. And then one up there. So question is, this is a darker one. If I hit save, does that blank that out? No. Doesn't do it. This is a darker colour. This is a dark grey, 413, and it's still not made it very dark. Not like the black did. Oh, and it missed one. There's one down here. Okay, I think Pattern Keeper needs to go on charge, because this is driving me batty. See, that one's gone dark. But when I try to mark up these, it's thinking it's a white because it's near the whites. Whereas this one's gone a dark grey. So I don't know quite how it works when it pulls in the symbols. Whether it's just taken it from the general picture and it's just picked up the wrong part of the picture. You know, like it's turning the picture, it's turning this into the picture, but it's made its own mind up over which bit is which. But it's not doing it right. So, while I am still fighting with this, because I am going to still fight with this, I am going to put my Huawei on charge, because it will be as flat as a paddy pancake. And once I've done this, I'm going to have a little bit of a mess with that and confirm that I'm not going to do Lally, and it is easier. So just okay, go up to high, but can you get out my way? There is only the one of those. So back to tipping in the lid. Apologies, I don't think I'm going to get through a huge amount of questions today because I am fighting. I am fighting with this. See, again, just get out my way. Okay, I'm hoping it's got all of those. We'll see what colour this turns into. But I just need a few. So, one up there. Then one here. One here. Then that is a squash in there. See, this is where I think the Pattern Keeper did still turn the white symbols to white, but it did take away the symbol. I'm pretty sure it did. So even though it was still in effect hard to see, you couldn't fault them in the fact that the symbol was white. So because the symbol was white, there wasn't much of another colour it could turn it to. But it did get rid of the actual symbol, which made it easier to actually differentiate between whether I'd done it or not. But we'll keep going. I've got my Huawei on charge. And I actually do have the pattern in my Huawei already, because that's what I was using when I first went to do it. So at least I can just reset that pattern and not have to either email it to myself or upload it to Google Drive to be able to get hold of it. So that's something. At least I can get hold of it that way. They just need a little bit more of a nudge. They're the ones I put in the wrong place. A little bit more of a nudge over. And it's amazing how this shading makes such a difference. 1, 2, 1. That one goes there. See, that one's turned slightly grey, but the letter G still hasn't turned the right shade of grey, but it keeps getting it confused with a different symbol. Okay, so I want to search for that symbol. 2 of them, apparently. So let's try the 2. So we have one up there and one down here. Okay, then I want, let's do this IS symbol. And that will be my top block finished. That's the reason I'm doing that one next. So this one's 762. Need a few more. So that's my first block finished. That goes on to the next one. None in this block, but in this one, I want one there. One there. Let's mark those off. One next to my black, because I can tell what my black is. 1, 2. Then one there. Then one up in my top corner. Then that's my bottom corner, which is not the one I want. I actually want the one up. No, that's the bottom one. Hang on, I've put something in the wrong place. It's supposed to go there. But this one's in the wrong place. I think that one is supposed to be up one. But then it says that I've done this one here and I haven't got one here either. So that one is 318. This one, 648. Oh, I've actually put on the row further down. Okay. So that's that one done. Oh, I'm having a whale of a time already. Okay, that one goes in there, which actually finishes most of that row. And then we have one, miss one, and another one. And I think that's it. Oh, what? No. Okay, what is that? I don't need that. I think I clicked on this. Okay, markup. So let's try, no, symbol. There, the bow. Let's see if I can actually get diamonds in every single square of this today. Who enjoys something a little bit different? Okay, so this is 3072. I've already marked one of them as being completed. So let me get the diamond in there quickly. Okay, I've already marked that one. Then there's that one. And this is where it's confusing because I actually only have 2 gaps, but I'm seeing more because of these symbols. Then that one. Then that one. Then this one's a top row, so this one should be on an ever moment number, which it is. Then one down from the black, corner of the black, and then all the way across to the far end. And then one tucked in there. And then there's actually one down here that it's not picked up at all. It's not highlighted it. that I can tell. Oh, it's because I hit markup twice. It brings up all the DMC numbers. Confusing much. Okay, question mark. No, I want to hunt for the question mark. No, it's not even picked them up. Hunt for question mark. Okay. That could have been fat fingers. Who knows? Oh, dearie me. Right. I need to remember with Heaven and Earth Design, I don't need to be tipping out many diamonds at all. Right, so that's the grey. Then I have one up here and one here. Then I have two in the middle of here. Two there. Then I have one here. One at the bottom. And one at the other bottom. Then one next to the black and one above. Okay, and if I hit on symbol and then hit on markup, it has greyed those ones out. Again, I still think the symbol's too visible, but it has greyed it out. I'm actually looking at my canvas as to which symbol I want next, because I can't see them very clearly on here. It's easier to look at my canvas and see where my next blank square is to decide which one I want to do. So to mark up, so I want this one at the top, and then it's actually that one down there. And it's this one next to the black, one above the black. Okay, I think that's got them. Okay, where's my next blank symbol? Is actually, no, this flower. And now it's, no, that's not helping. I want this one. Okay, if I hit on that one, I put it up to high and it's still not liking it. I come off it again. That's only picked up two of them. Okay, I've hand selected them. Hopefully that'll work. Hopefully. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I want the flower, if we're calling it a nice one, or the sword. Possibly is supposed to be a sword. Let's get that one. I can't even tell if I'm done. Oh no, I'm not done. There's another one yet. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, let's get on markup. Okay. No, it's selecting ones I don't want it to select. Okay, 1, 2, 3, done. And this one at the bottom, and then this one here. Okay, so unmarked, I do only have the one, and if I tap on unmarked, it does show me I've only got one in my square. And if I preview it, it fills in what's darker. But I have one anchor. So put my dryer sheet piece in there. So one anchor, which is actually 3799, which is a really, really dark one. So mark up that one. So now if I hit on unmarked, it should tell me now I've done 400 stitches. Info. 400 stitches done, which is 4 squares because they're each 100. Took me 43 minutes. Not surprising. 0.67% completed. Now, I do kind of like this. Average stitch rate per day. If I did this every day, it would take me 148 days to complete, which would be March 2025. Which is actually not bad if you're doing like a section or a 4-piece per day. That's not a bad amount of time. And that's nice info to have. But there are too many other parts of it that are annoying. So I'm going to see if my Huawei that has been in the cupboard and since I finished my big heaven and earth design is going to actually play the game with me. It may need more charge before it will do it, but I want to have a look and see if I'm remembering how Pattern Keeper works compared to Markup and whether it's better. I think I've been spoiled in the fact that I have used Pattern Keeper before, and I always unlock this wrong every single time. Okay, so it literally is on 2% charge, it's plugged in, and it is possibly gonna shout at me because it's possibly going to use more charge than it has. But I do have the Mini Beautiful Light canvas in already, though I do have it as completed. So what I want to do is I want to see if I can reset the whole thing. It's freezing on me. Oh, hang on, here we go. So I can choose to show page breaks. I think my tablet's not liking me because it's been a while. Sorry, you get me while I figure my way through this now. So I can show daily process. Tag process. Oh no, it's powering down. I've literally used that 2%. So I will let this charge a bit and I will come back and we will have a look on the end of this video so that we know where we are going forward. But yeah, I have put cover paper on this, by the way. I decided to go for bright stripes because I thought it'd look funky next to a black and white canvas. The numbers are taking me a little bit of getting used to, but I don't think they're awful. The numbers on the Ever Moment canvas, they're not dreadful. So my thought is I will potentially just do a 4 or maybe a 6. Dependent. I might do a 4 for a couple of weeks until I've got used to it before I move on to a 6 section. We'll sort of see how long they take and how much time I have. But yeah, I'll go and grab myself a brew, let this tablet charge, and I'll come back and we'll have a look at the section I've just done on Pattern Keeper and see if it's better. Hi, I'm back. Okay, so I'm not sure how long the charge is going to last on this. It's currently on 8%, but when I use it, it goes down a lot quicker. I was wondering whether to do another section using this on the same sort of video, but I am running out of time to make sure it's uploaded on time. So I am going to go through. I did unlock the tablet and have a look about clearing the pattern. So just to let you know, if you click on the 3 tabs before you open the pattern, you can reset your progress and that will wipe everything out of it. So that's what I did on this chart. And then I pulled up and just checked what it did to the symbols as I completed them. So I'm going to show you on here with this teardrop. So if I go to select and select the teardrop and then hit to highlight them, you highlight them as you would, as I was doing on the other one, as I'm going along. However, it's a lot easier to read them. And when you hit the tick, it does replace the symbol with the colour that you've put down. So it's so much easier. So if I went to search for 5200, can you see how the highlight is still all there? But because the symbol has disappeared, there is a whole lot less confusion, which is the problem I was having with the other one, is the symbol was still there. So that confused me as to whether it, even though it was greyed out, it took that extra fraction of a second or a second to process in my brain, is it done? I also do miss this bar. I like being able to potentially choose each symbol according to the colour and work my way through my colours. You know, there's only 15. I can just work my way through them all. Or I can do what is the biggest and then work my way through the rest. What's also handy, and what I have done to these squares, is I can press and hold and select all finished stitches. No, I don't want that one. Touch and press on a stitch. Select all unfinished stitches in the square. So every undone one, and hit tick. And that's it. The whole square is back, is completed. So that is me fully caught up. Well, actually it's not, because I only did 4. So if we select, press and hold, oh, hang on, go on the select button, press and hold, select all finished stitches in the square, and I can press the frog and unclear them. And I want to do the same, select all finished stitches and clear them. So I actually got in my head that I'd done 6 sections, because that's how I was doing it on this tablet all the time. See, 6 fit in my screen, lovely. So that now shows the 4 squares that I have done, and there are no symbols there to confuse me whatsoever. So for that basis, well and truly, purely for that reason, I am going to switch back to Pattern Keeper. Cost is a potential factor, but I prefer this. I prefer the way this blanks out the symbols. So if I was to choose the white one again, and let's say I highlight and say, okay, I've done that row, I've done that row, I've done that row. The symbol's still there. However, as soon as I hit the tick button, it disappears. It disappears, which means I can work on what it is that I need to do next. So that is a whole lot easier for me. Let me untick them. But that is a whole lot easier for me to personally see where it is that I'm up to as I'm going along, especially dealing with such pale colours. If I had a really bright coloured one, Markup XP might put the colour in. But it was very intermittent with symbols as well, whereas I find a Heaven and Earth design pattern works absolutely fantastic with Pattern Keeper. I've had zero problem whatsoever on working on my last one. So I'm going to work on this one. Whether I do 4 or 6, we'll see how long this video is, because of course I know this waffling is an extra section at the end, and I may just do 4 sections each time. I may do 6. I may just vary it up depending on how much time I have on the day I'm filming. But yeah, I gave Markup XP a go. Have I given it a good enough go? Maybe, maybe not. But I don't want to pay for the privilege of trying it out a bit more. If I was doing this in my own time and actually working on it a section a day, I may have got a few more days testing it out. But to be honest, the fact that the symbol stays there when I've marked it, Patternkeeper's just so much better. So much better in that regard, especially when working on a canvas that has a lot of light colours in it. So yeah, I'm going to keep going with the Evermoment canvas. I did make a mistake on this bit down here, but I am hoping the further on I go, the better it will be, and I will get a little bit better with it each time. But yeah, thank you for joining me for my first section of my WIP and Waffle for my Heaven and Earth design. I will see you again next week with this canvas and this tablet, which is going to stay in here on charge, so we're on 100% before we get going, because it is a very old Huawei tablet, but it does the job. And yeah, hopefully I'll get through a few more questions next time. Now I've ironed out some of these kinks, and yeah, we can see how this one progresses, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.